Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here, and it is everybody's favorite time of the month. That's right, real estate market statistics time. These real estate statistics are for Hillsborough County for September 2024. Now you might be asking if you have this report or you saw me flash them just then. You might be asking yourself, the report says August. Why is he calling these the September numbers? Well, I call them the September numbers because otherwise people think that they're a month old. So these are the most recent stats that we have. I'm not able to get them until about the fifth or sixth day into the new month. The thing about these statistics is we compute them for the entire month. Week to week or day to day is way too short of an interval. And there's a lot of shifts and differences. Like literally, if you have like a stretch of 3 or 4 really rainy days, that is going to put a damper on the number of homes sold and all that stuff if you're looking at day to day or week to week. So we look at month to month because it's a long enough time period and everything kind of evens out enough. So I'm not comparing month to month. So I'm not comparing August to July per se. The reason why is the year has a natural ebb and flow of some months naturally just have more home sales, some have less. So, for example, whenever school's starting up, which is kind of what happens in August and September, whenever school's starting up, the number of homes sold compared to June and July are naturally lower. Just there's fewer people interested in buying a home at that time. People are settling down and getting used to new routine. Same thing with the wintertime. December has a lot fewer sales than the summertime. So what we do is we compare August 2023 to August 2024. So that kind of tells us what's happened in the last year. The good news is that real estate doesn't move usually so fast that is too long of a time frame. We did have a stretch, which you might remember, 2020, 2021, and 2022, where things were moving extremely fast. And during that time, I was looking at things from week to week and month to month and keeping an eye out on all of the offers that were being made and what our success levels were. But things have calmed down considerably since then, which is good news, especially if you're looking to purchase a house. We're still not in buyer's market territory by any stretch of the imagination. And, whenever we go over these notes, I'll be sure to make note of that. But it's still, there's a lot more houses to choose from than there were a couple years ago. The other thing to know here is if you don't want to sit through this whole long 20, 30, 40-minute video, I do make a much shorter 2-minute market update. And, if you just want to keep kind of the pulse on what's happening, where the numbers are at, you can watch that. But if you're looking to deep dive into what's going on in the real estate market, this full market statistics report video is definitely what you need. Now, if you would like your own copy of these numbers in this beautiful market report that I generate each and every month, there is a link down below that will take you to the website, and there you can sign up whenever these videos and reports are released. You will get notified of that. And then also there is this full report you can download at the website. So you can follow along or, tuck them in a notebook or, frame them and hang them on the wall if you want to. So feel free to go there and sign up for the stats newsletter, and you'll receive that notification as soon as these become available. All right, so let's dive into these market numbers for Hillsborough County. Total number of closed sales was up 3.6%. 1,451 homes from 1,400 homes. Median sales price dropped 5.8% from $445,950 to $420,000. Average sales price dropped 5.3% from $565,000 from $565,839 to $536,048. Now, one thing I do like to point out here is anything between like 0 and 5%, I usually consider as, the market's holding pretty steady there. Once you get up to like 8, 9, 10 or higher, obviously that's, a pretty good shift. But anytime it's in like, median sales price is a little different. But again, the thing to remember with the median sales price is when you're selling fewer homes than we were, a few years ago, that number is going to move around a little bit more. Median percent of original list price is down 1.8% from 98.1% to 96.3%. And median time to contract went up 42.1% from 19 days to 27 days. Now, a thing to know there is that it's still very much seller's market territory. I would have killed for 27 days time to contract back in 2018. Once that number climbs up to 40, 50 days, that's neutral market territory. And we should see prices, start to stagnate a little bit. 30 days is not bad at all. Total number of new listings was down 2.1% compared to August 2023. That was a total of 1,646 homes, and active inventory was up 57.2%. We are above 4,000 homes, people. Went from 2,584 to 4,061 homes. And the doom and gloom that everyone was talking about was going to occur with COVID and people paying bills. Foreclosures and short sales still not showing up. There's only 5 foreclosures, and there was 3 short sales in Hillsborough County last month. It's not that people aren't having trouble. It's just that you can sell your house and put, $50,000 in your pocket versus losing the house and losing everything. So, most people make the wise decision and put the house up for sale and put the money in their pocket. I am a certified short sale foreclosure specialist. So if you know somebody who is got themselves into a pickle, please reach out to me. I promise I have helped multiple people in that situation. And it is still, because home prices are so high, it's a little more complicated than just a traditional transaction. It's still very manageable. And in most cases, you should be able to put some money in your pocket. Now, I do like to break down the different price points here because $1 million house sells on a little bit different time frame than a $300,000 house. That's primarily just because there's more buyers that are able to purchase a $300,000 house. Bigger market, it's going to sell for a little bit quicker. So I don't usually try to read through each and every one of these because it gets a little boring. I usually try to hit the highlights. 100 to 150,000, there was a total of 3 houses sold in August 2024. And that's a drop of 57.1%. 200 to 250 dropped 19.5% to 33. 300 to 400,000 is where you start to see the bulk of houses start to get listed at. That's actually up 23.2%. 489 homes sold. 400 to 600, total of 495 homes sold, which is a drop of 5.9%. And not much change in the 600 to 1 million. Sold about the same amount compared to last year. Median time to contracts. It's definitely, things are taking longer to sell now than they were last year. 250 to 300,000 is kind of the outlier. 38 days, which is an increase of 153%, which is wild because we sold 42.4% more homes. So what that tells me is that there was a large number of homes that eventually sold in the 250 to 300 price point. There was a lot of homes that sat around for a longer period of time in that price point. And then, either the right buyer came along or, the price reduction finally got it down to where someone was interested in purchasing it. Total number of new listings, as you can expect, anything below 300,000, there's fewer homes getting listed for sale. 150 to 200,000 was down 41.2% to 20. 200 to 250 was down 23.4% to 36 new homes listed. And then, it's basically like the 300 and above didn't change that much, So 300 to 400, we listed 471 homes, which was an increase of 4.7%. 400 to 600 was down 5.3% to 593. So, those are like that 3, 4, 5% number. That's basically the same number of homes getting listed for sale. If we look at total inventory, though, which is basically at the end of the month, how many homes in each of these price points were for sale, it's basically up across the board, except for under 150, there's 0. So if you're looking for a house under 150,000, unfortunately, there's nothing to choose from in Hillsborough County currently. $200 to $250,000 is actually more than double the homes to choose from. So that went up 102.9% to 66. 250 to 300,000 went up 35.7% to 133 homes available. 300 to 400,000 went up 86.5% to 994, so almost double in that 300 to 400 price point. 400 to 600 went up 56.2% to 1,534. That's where the largest block of homes is at, that 400 to 600 price point. 600 to a million is up 48.9% to 810, and a million or more was up 28.5% to 487. So those are the statistics for Hillsborough County for September 2024. Now, if you remember back to your math class, you might remember mean, median, and mode. Mean is another name for average, so we'll just call it average and median. So with an average, you basically would take, let's say, if 5 houses sold, you would add up the price that those 5 houses sold for, and then divide it by 5, that would give you the average. The median is a little different, though. The median price is the point at which there is an equal number of homes for sale at a higher price as at a lower price. So it's more of the actual midpoint of market for the homes that have sold. Personally, I prefer the median home price more because it removes a lot of the whiplash that can be caused by a large number or even a small number of very expensive or very inexpensive houses selling. And this is especially true as the number of closed sales goes down. The median home price tends to start to swing a little bit more than usual just because the sample set is smaller. So like if you're selling like 1,000 homes a month, the median home price is going to tend to move a little bit more than it did when there was 3,000 homes for sale. It's going to move a little bit more than when there was 2,000 homes that sold in that month. So it's just because the data set is a little bigger. So I'm actually going to bring the Pinellas and Hillsborough kind of information analysis together here. So Pinellas County kind of had a wild 6 months. Hillsborough County had held steady for the last 4, 5, 6 months, but it has started to decline a little bit. But it still hasn't, like the bottom hasn't dropped out of the market. And Pinellas County, pretty much the same thing. Yes, number of closed sales are down. Yes, there are more homes to choose from, but the median sales price is not moving that much. And so what we have is we have a bit of a split market. And so basically we have homes that are going for sale super quick. They're usually renovated. They're usually priced effectively. They're usually in high demand areas. So those are going super quick. Multiple offers isn't overly common, but it is still something that we run into if you're looking for, like a renovated home in a high demand area. Multiple offers are common in that circumstance. So 2021 and 2022, like there would be times I would submit offers and they would say, hey, we have received 28 other offers on this house. I had a pretty good success rate for still getting offers accepted with that. I actually ran this the other day. We would get about half of our offers accepted. So there is a difference in presenting an offer because when they're going up against 20 to 30 other offers, you should not be winning half of them. So we basically kind of have this split market here. Now, what seems to have started to happen in Hillsborough County is some of the houses that had been sitting around for a while, the sellers have been reducing the prices. And then when they sell, that does increase the time to contract number. Because it's important to remember that a lot of these stats only get counted if the house actually sells. So like median home price, if a listing expires, which means that it does not sell, then it just disappears. So it was part of the market and it was listed and it was being evaluated, but it does not impact the median sales price and it doesn't impact median time to contract because the median time to contract only gets counted when the house closes. So you kind of have to keep that in mind with these numbers. That said, a lot of the rest of the state is having a much rougher go of it currently. I've talked to some people down in like Venice, and we are active. So me and my team, we are active in Sarasota. But obviously, we don't do like gangbusters business down there, but we do have a lot of people that are looking in. I'm interested in Parrish, Fishhawk Ranch, and Lakewood Ranch down in Sarasota. So we get a lot of that overlap. So we do business down there. But Sarasota, considerably slower than a lot of the rest of the Tampa Bay area. And there's other sections of Florida where, a lot of the real estate agents believe that the sky is falling. Tampa Bay, still not at that point. And I'm not entirely sure that it ever will get to that point, just because of where these numbers are. Now, the total number of homes for sale, that is significantly higher than it was, but it hasn't showed up into effective major price decreases. We've had a little bit of a movement, but that's also just kind of a natural coming out of the summertime kind of thing. I am curious to see what happens as we progress into the wintertime, because we've had some other things happen. Interest rates have come down a bit. Those have been those have been in the sevens, and now like 6% interest rates are pretty easy on mortgages. So as more and more people realize that interest rates have come down, you're going to see, people refinancing, people evaluating home options, looking to make moves, looking to buy houses. Because, 7% is, people start to sweat a little bit. 6% is more of a, that's kind of where things had been for the last, 20, 25 years, that 4 to 6% range. So again, there's not a clear trajectory up or down. We're just still just kind of in this seesaw teeter totter pattern. The good news is that if you were looking to purchase, there are more homes to choose from now. So that is a good thing, especially for on the buying side of things. And, sellers are pretty negotiable and reasonable for getting concessions and repairs and stuff like that done. And on the flip side, if you're thinking about selling, prices are still at or extremely close to historic highs. So we didn't break ground on new record prices in 2024, but we basically touched the previous 2023 peak, over the early summer. I know there's lots of stories about the sky is falling and the real estate market is imploding. Condos are certainly kind of having some issues currently, but these numbers are not about condos. These numbers are about single family homes. But a lot of those news stories, if you look at them, they're actually comparing current numbers to 2021 or 2022 numbers, which is absolutely crazy because there's no way to sustain a 2021 or 2022 real estate market. It is impossible. So yeah, compared to everyone going crazy and paying $30,000 to $40,000 above asking price and getting 40 offers on a house, yeah, we're nowhere close to that. So if that's your frame of reference, yeah, it currently looks like a catastrophe. But compared to before that, if we're comparing to like 2017 or 2018, which was still very much a seller's market, we're kind of back to that 2018, 2019 levels of, time on market sales price, but sales price is considerably higher because we've went through that ramp up. But at least currently, there's some things that I'm watching, and we're basically back to watching that where that demand and inventory side goes. If the number of buyers increases, if Pinellas County goes from 850 homes sold per month, and if it goes back up to where it usually is at, which is 1100 or 1200 homes per month, well, then the number of homes for sale is rapidly going to drop and we're going to see prices go up again. Whereas if that demand number stays low, well, then inventory is going to stay high, and we might see a price retraction, but it is going to take some time. It's going to be well into the winter time. So annoyingly, I don't have a clear trend that I can give you, other than I'm keeping an eye on it. And currently things are about how they have been for the last, year or two, which is basically we're kind of popping back and forth. So we'll have like a few months where prices are going up and things are starting to get crazy. And then we'll have a few months where things are slowing down and prices are coming down a little bit. It's just how it's been since July 2022. So thank you so much for tuning in to these real estate market statistics. My name is Kyle Sasser with Ashler Home Team. If you're looking for your own great place in Tampa Bay, I would love to help you out. Best way to get started is to go to the Book a Chat link down below. Should be in the description or the comments down below. Click on that link. That'll take you to the calendar. You can book a time that works best for you. If it's morning, if it's afternoon, if it's evening, doesn't matter. I will show up at whatever time. And I will answer your questions and explain the process to you. If you have some thoughts on the market or some questions that maybe I didn't address in this video, feel free to leave those in the comments down below. Other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Kyle Sasser, and I'll talk to you soon.